Good morning, everyone. We will begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama for protection and the permission to participate today in the divine plan of constructing a paradise on this earth. Let us pray together the Amatsu-Norito prayer of heaven, followed by the Miroku prayer. Please stand. Taka amahara ni kamsumari masu. Kamuro gi kamuro mino mikoto mochite somemi oya kamuri zanagi no mikoto tsukushi no himuka no tachihana no odo no ahagi harani misogi harai tamo togi ni narimaseru harai dono o kamitachi moro moro no magakoto tsumi kegare o harai tamai kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshi o amatsu kami kunitsu kami ya oyorosu no kami tachi tomo ni ame no fujikoma no mimi furitatete kikoshi meseto kashikomi kashikomi mumaosu Miroku o mikami mamori tamare saki hare tamare Miroku o mikami mamori tamare saki hare tamare Oshie oyan shino kami mamori tamae saki hae tamae Oshie oyan shino kami mamori tamae saki hae tamae Kum nagara tamachi haimase. Kum nagara tamachi hai. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for the divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei.
Obrigado, Meishu-sama. Bless you.
Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu teachings. Honesty. Foolish are the ones who tell lies. They harm themselves with their own tongues. God recognizes sincere, honest people above all others and grants them boundless, limitless blessings. People may speak of wealth and earthly possessions. However, whatever they have cannot compare with honesty, a truly priceless treasure. Many people profess faith in God, but just thinking so has little meaning. There must be some outward expression of one's faith in God. The demonstration of faith is very simple: trustworthiness. We must always speak the truth so that others will have no doubt about our words. Then they will associate with us without fear of any kind of trouble, knowing knowing we have a fine and upright character. It is not really difficult to achieve such a reputation. We should avoid telling lies and committing any dishonest acts, and instead place the interests of others before our own, of their difficulties, in showing they will be made happier by our presence. In this way, we will certainly win their love and respect. While we must be trustworthy in our relationships with others, it is far more important to be worthy of God's trust, the most precious of all. With the trust of God, we can live full and happy lives.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the Miroku Association headquarters morning service. You also are directing your prayers along with us for world peace. This morning, I want to share with you the Nubia Mota Cabral from Pituba, Bahia, Brazil. Nubia has been a Johrei member for 4 years, and she gives service in tending to both first-time and regular visitors at her Johrei Center. She'd like to share with us the story of the transformation in her life that occurred through her studies of Meishu-sama's teachings, the practice of Johrei, and the sincere giving of herself in service. Nubia has two children, and three, at which time her daughter was 17 years old. The two experienced countless disagreements. Being a victim of her parents' separation, her daughter was very rebellious. She had made radical changes to her appearance and constantly treated Nubia with anger and aggression. They fought extensively, and meaningful dialogue or understanding between them were absent. Previously, her daughter had typically been a sweet child, responsible in her school studies and sporting a cheerful nature. However, she began taking numerous prescription drugs in order to lose weight, and she began to experience hallucinations, mood swings, and insomnia, in addition to excessive weight loss. Occasionally, her true nature manifested, and she would humbly ask Nubia for forgiveness. When she revealed that she did not want to behave the way she was, it truly was a clear cry for help caused by her mental and emotional anguish. Nubia and her ex-husband had remained friends, and together they tried to find a cure for their daughter through both medical means and spiritual healing methods. Meanwhile, Nubia's son, then 13 years old, was suffering from relentless bullying by classmates due to his shy and withdrawn personality. Despite being a child, the son being aware of the difficult situation existing between his mother and sister, decided to spare Nubia from further suffering and choicefully never told her what was happening at school. However, Nubia began to notice in him various troubling behavioral symptoms, such as low self esteem, deep sadness, lack of concentration in his studies, withdrawal from social interactions, in addition to insomnia. He fell into a state of depression, manifesting obsessive compulsive disorders and extreme eating imbalances. Both his father and mother introduced him to a diversity of treatments, but nothing worked. After approximately 14 long years of endless painful suffering, Nubia herself began experiencing the effects of fatigue, of physical and psychological levels. Nubia constantly prayed to God for a miracle, but because she could not find any solution for the extensive suffering in her life, she entertained thoughts of leaving this world. One day, in September 2017, Nubia went to a clinic to have some tests done. The clinic was located next to a Johrei center, and she felt a strong urge to enter it, since she had never previously had any interaction with our church. She was received with heartfelt warmth by a missionary there, who channeled Johrei to her. Immediately, Nubia felt relief and a sense of inner calm and peace. The two talked at length, and Nubia became acquainted with possible meanings for the suffering in her life. Nubia was told that through her suffering, she was clearing her spiritual clouds, but there was, in fact, a much easier and pleasurable way to purify her spirit through receiving and serving God. Nubia was both surprised and confused because she had never been exposed to such a concept. Yet, at the same time, she reasoned that what was being explained to her truly made sense. Consequently, she decided to broaden her understanding of the teachings of our church and determined to frequent it as regularly as possible. She was able to confer with a minister who suggested that she attend services and receive Johrei on a daily basis. The first few weeks of practice, she felt a well being that she had not experienced in many years. It strengthened her each day, and consequently, she stopped crying and feeling struggle. Nubia learned to see life's mishaps in another way, as a purification process necessary for her spiritual growth and elevation. Subsequently, she experienced Meishu-sama for this realization. In 3 months, with the visible changes in her life, she was allowed to receive the sacred focal point of Hikari in December of 2017. From then on, she strongly committed herself in the divine work. She dedicated to cleaning, channeling Johrei, serving many different ways, and singing the choir, made flower arrangements, and attended first-time visitors at the Johrei Center. She channeled Johrei daily to her family members, studied the teachings of Meishu-sama, made efforts to guide people to our church, requested the Sorei Saishi, the enshrinement of her ancestors, and offering monthly donations of gratitude. Often she did not have enough money even for a bus ticket, so she had to walk to the Johrei Center about 2.5 miles between her home and the center. Despite of that, she did not fail to fulfill her commitments. In just a few months, her life was already showing an unbelievable transformation. With the constant commitment to serve others in the divine plan, things were continually improving, and in the second half of 2018, the atmosphere at home was one of light and harmony in her family, especially in relation to her children. Her son Murilo gradually rebalanced himself, overcoming depression and other emotional and psychological disorders. He too became a jury member, returned to school, met his wife, and entered the realm of financial business. Her daughter Natalia got a job and gained the strength to quit her addiction to pills for losing weight. She recovered her self esteem and her sweet and caring personality surfaced again. She completed 2 postgraduate degrees, had been hired by a government agency, and got married in 2018. She's currently a successful person in her professional and personal life. Over these years, even though when Nubia was unemployed, she made efforts to offer her offerings of gratitude with sincerity, and in December of 2021, shortly after returning from the annual ancestor service, she was able to retire, which gave her financial stability and feeling fulfilled. Today, Nubia is a totally happy person. She enjoys health, harmony, and prosperity. She was even invited to pursue a career as a photographic model at the age of 61, where she has already done some related work. Nubia cannot express in words her gratitude of having known the Johrei movement. After living in a hell-like situation for about 14 years, Meishu-sama transformed her fate and allowed her to manifest a paradise in her life. As a retribution for so many blessings, she seeks to serve the divine work with ever more intensity each passing day. She pursues to spread the practice of our faith, caring for those around her, and introducing to them the Johrei practice and the teachings of Meishu-sama. Consequently, she has already had the permission to guide 9 people to the divine work. Yubi is deeply thankful to God and Meishu-sama for the permission, transformations, and blessings granted to her and her family. Her commitment is to become an increasingly useful instrument to divine work, spreading Johrei and the teachings of Meishu-sama wherever she goes, so that everyone has the permission to achieve happiness by serving the construction of paradise on earth. Thank you very much for listening to this wonderful faith experience, for attending this morning service. Today is the birthday of Reverend Romilson Lucio Clemente Candido. So please don't forget to give us a like, and thank you very much.
This brings to a conclusion our morning service. Thank you everyone for joining us. We wish you a very blessed day.